Namaste. Welcome and greetings. I am Magick. It's gonna stop a virus. No. This
Got y'all listening now. Some witchcraft for that ass. Too late to turn away. Abracadabra and all that good shit. Yo. Hocus pocus, got you focused on my rhyme. Simply easy, now I'm eating couch potatoes, I recline. No, I'm joking as I'm toking power puffs and pokey yokes. Till my town and villa filled with ganja smoke, you know the dope. Coming out my pipes, talking about the bones in my throat. With the mic, I'm casting curses every night, you know the scope. Got my spells handy. You may call it the phone, but when I'm done reciting, you'll give me the keys to the throne. Then I take my keys to go home. Didn't see I was done. While rush to end it all, it feels amazing to have won. I'm not planning to ball, but why not take the chance to stunt? No, I don't need it all. Can think the thing I don't want. Do I worship the sun, or sold my soul for the tongue, or death since I was young, or got some voodoo done?
Namaste, namastizzle, peace and many blessings. Greetings, shalom. What's up? How y'all doing? Magick LaCroix here. Happy Friday. Day is November 14th, 2025. It looks like y'all government opened back up. I hope this has been a smooth transition for those of you who are affected. I really do. You know, I hope you had a great week, and hope that getting those rituals in, but it is a Mercury retrograde. I highly suggest sitting back, relax, releasing, reflecting, all the R's. Magic and manifestation in general seems to take a back seat. It seems to work a whole lot slower during a Mercury retrograde. Hopefully this retrograde won't be as bad as the last one, okay? And if you are affected or were affected by that shutdown, a lot of people were affected, Again, hopefully you put some mantras in place, doing just manifesting. You know what I'm saying? Here is Bobby giving out well, just take a listen. Bobby, y'all. Start this with Bobby.
Melanin always is moving. So therefore, so you can feel free. A lot of times rituals are people think they're doing things wrong. And there's no such thing as something doing wrong or doing something wrong when the universe is called chaos sphere, and chaos means change is supreme. So I just say you can be loosened up with that. Now here's a good one to pay your bills. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. The last 25 years, this is a process and a ritual I do every month. Now, Bobby and I don't have 9-to-5 jobs, so we constantly have to keep an unlimited cash flow coming in. Okay, and that can come in different ways. We can get a phone call, somebody might give us a love offering, or we might sell some pictures. Believe me, when it gets down to the wire, it's like it just comes in handy, everything. So you take a blank check. And you write it out to yourself, and you can put any amount you want. I mean, it could be $1 million on down to $1,000 to, be reasonable. You know what I'm saying? But the idea is it doesn't really matter because you're just putting it all into play because you're going to put on the back of it unlimited cash flow, which means it's going to always come in. But let me say this too: where the date is, you want to put now. Okay? Yeah, you want to put now because we don't need these dates to say you don't need it next week. You need it to start coming in now. You sign it to yourself, and in the corner where it has what it's for. I usually write because for Bobby and I, we're on a spiritual journey. This is our mission, our path. I always put spiritual tools. Now that could be whatever you need. You know, we need little things to do. I always put, you know, Bobby's always buying books. We got 1 million books, but if he needs one other book, so we have to just put spiritual things down, anything like that. Then you sign it. On the back of it, you put unlimited cash flow. So you're not stopping any limit. It's gonna, you know, come however it comes. It may come $5, $10. Just maybe that call that say, look, we need a gas bill paid. So it comes to $50 we need. So just keep it open. Then you sign it, and then what I do is I take and I put in each corner I put a little either magnetic oil or money drawing oil, and then I light a candle. Usually green. It could be, some people say gold for prosperity and money. And if you light it, you can take and write inside the candle, because I also, when I do my candles, I put a little bit of oil inside the candle, and I write real small, you know, like, I see the money now, or whatever positive, you know, thing you want to write in that candle. And then you light it and let it go. So that's that, and believe me, it just keeps coming and coming. And I just leave it under there. I don't ever move. I wrote one out for him, I wrote one out for me, and I just leave it.
So that is a hey, what's up, Mooney? How are you? Peace. Love that lecture. Yeah, me too. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my first that I ever saw from Bobby. I think everyone should see that. What's up, Nikki? How are you? And mine. Peace, peace, peace. Welcome. I know nobody really, I don't think anybody actually uses checks anymore, but still, for the purposes of that particular ritual, you can still use a check. All right. It's just a simple little ritual, and that's what he did the entire lecture. He gave out practical rituals and spells that people could use for love, for lust, for money, for protection. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Okay. Going on in Texas is warm again. They teased us with the cold weather for a couple of days, and then it got right back into the mid 80s now. You know what I mean? So there's that. But I still say, I could be wrong, but I still say that we are going to have a hell of a winter, even here in Texas. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let's see, what do we have here? All the stuff that I've been sent, that's what I'm looking at right now. Just so much shit going on. So, like I'm always saying to y'all, I'm hoping y'all are being careful, y'all being safe. Rachel Dolezal is white again. It's funny to me that when it being trying to be black doesn't work out, they go back to their white roots. And she's yet another one who did that. Y'all remember Rachel Dolezal, who actually passed for black? Y'all remember her? This is her now. Went totally back to the white side. Y'all remember her? She done had an OnlyFans. I don't know if that's still up, but I mean, she was bearing it all on OnlyFans too. You know, so remember Miley Cyrus did it too. You know what I mean? If you got the jab, this is you know, same old tactics are working, but specifically about the jab. Damn shame that I think side effects are now being. I'm seeing a lot of people still are passing. You know, I'm not seeing reasons, but people, a lot of people that's I know, they're out of here already. You know what I mean? That's not said to scare anybody, but check this out right here. Look at this.
Explain to the people what the fuck this is.
This is a heart monitor from the vaccine that I took.
What happened?
It gave me a pericarditis in my heart.
Which vaccine did you take?
Pfizer.
Was this your first, second?
All three.
You took all three, and what did it do to you?
It gave me pericarditis in my heart.
What the fuck is that?
My heart's inflamed. Yeah.
And he's laughing
You
about it.
part black, right?
Yes.
The black part of you is slapping you. So I'm gonna. I know you want to do it.
He's laughing about it. I would be pissed. You know what I mean? I would be pissed. An inflamed heart? That's not healthy. You know what I mean? But the conspiracy theorists are up 100 to the non-believers is 0. They ain't been right yet. So it is what it is. Aline Bay is perfect if you have like if you need some kind of attention or alternatives, please go to him. You do remember her? Okay, yeah. Yeah. You gotta laugh to keep from crying. Yeah, what's up, astrology villain? Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? But that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy to me. What was crazy to me during that time? It's already 5 years. During that time, the fact that they completely exonerated themselves from any liabilities should you die or anything else, is that's the amazing part to me because people still went and took that shit, y'all. They still went and took that shit. That is crazy. That is crazy. Load yourself up. Same shit I've been saying. Same shit. But gods are supposed to do God shit. I'm not seeing us do God shit, but we're constantly calling ourselves gods and goddesses. But we're still doing everything with the beast, following the beast orders, getting caught up in the drama of celebrities and like the government shutdown and all the psych ops that's going on. I'm seeing people who are supposed to be leaders of the spiritual community fall for the same shit. Yet gods are supposed to be doing God shit like today. Invoke the goddesses of love, invoke the power of love. You know what I mean? But again, it's a Mercury retrograde, and depending on how skilled you are and how powerful and resourceful you are, you can still do stuff. You can still do mantras, you can still do sigils, you can still do things that don't require like a magical ritual, ceremonial magical ritual. Okay. But if you consider yourself a god or goddess, you're supposed to be doing God shit and goddess shit. All right. You're not supposed to be walking around fearful or asking anybody for you to be recognized as a human being, yada, yada, yada. But I'm just saying, gods are supposed to be doing God shit. All right. You're supposed to be in Super Saiyan mode. You're supposed to be, you're supposed to have these downloads from the past couple of events. You know what I mean? So everybody just doing this right now. Everybody just doing this. That's it. Ain't nobody doing no God shit. But that's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be having a God mind right about now. All right. Past 5 years have shown you all this talking, all this, a little bit of surface shit. It's not doing shit. Okay. For us to be the most educated, supposedly the most this, the most that, and yet we're still sitting on the fucking bottom of the barrel. When it comes to society, melanated people still at the bottom. They're not doing God shit. And that's what you're supposed to be doing. Okay. I'm always preaching, find your tribe. Okay. Find your tribe. I totally mean that. You're supposed to be actually interacting with God. You're supposed to be surrounding yourself with guys and just exuding a godlike frequency. Because it's supposed to come out your speech and the way you act, your aura should exude it. You should be exuding power. You should know the 48 laws of power. You should know the art of war. You know what I mean? All this you should be knowing. God's supposed to be doing God shit. I didn't even worry about it because I knew I wasn't getting this shit. I know that's right. And Anthony Fauci is not right. He disappeared, completely fucking disappeared. What's up, Prox? Starting to see a pattern of children and people, not themselves. More like zombies spaced out or glitching. I believe it's from Jabberwocky. Side effects. Yeah, they said that the side effects would take a couple years. And I think that's what got people comfortable. Like, yeah, those conspiracy theorists, they were just talking shit. They don't know what they talking about. I'm fine. Now, these side effects are taking effect. You know what I mean? Like I said, I am seeing a lot of people going out of here, and I'm not seeing any explanations or nothing. You know what I mean? Not supposed to be happening like this. Not sure if any of you remember, and maybe I shouldn't be doing this, but I still want to say I'm still in shock about this one. But she was on the show about 3 years ago. Her name was Aya. Sadly, she has passed. I found out, the only reason I found out was because I went to her page because I wanted her to invite her to do another interview. Come to find out she's no longer here. So rest in peace to her. Rise in power. You know what I mean? I couldn't believe it. I honestly could not believe it. You know what I mean? Again, the interview happened about 3 years ago. You know what I mean? Stupid shit still going on around us. Like I said, the guy's laughing to keep from crying, but goddamn, man. And I mean, you still got people, regardless of all the facts that have come out about who really carries the RX gene or the RH gene, who really carries that rhesus DNA. No matter what, these people still are perpetrating certain stereotypes. You know what I mean? Certain stereotypes they are still putting out there. People are still believing. What I'm referring to is this. I couldn't believe this shit either. But in the supposed year of 2025, shit like this is still happening. Check this out.
Imagine being a reporter and you're on live TV with your colleague and your colleague says this.
And check out this cute video that the OKC Zoo just posted.
Okay, you have to see this. This is Finn. We're about to show, oh my goodness, take a look at him. He's a resident of the Oklahoma City Zoo. And this week, the zoo's ape caretaker took over their Instagram, and we are all loving that they did. And as you can see, Finn was fascinated.
Definitely ready for his close-up there.
Kind of looks like you. Kind of looks like you.
And this is her apology.
Because I want to apologize, not only to my coworker, Jason, but to our entire community. I said something yesterday that was inconsiderate, it was inappropriate, and I hurt people. And I want you to know, I understand how much I hurt you out there and how much I hurt you. I love you so much, and you have been one of my best friends for the past year and a half, and I would never do anything on purpose to hurt you. And I love our community, and I want you all to know, from the bottom of my heart, I apologize for what I said. I know it was wrong, and I am so sorry.
Imagine.
So, yeah, shit like that's still going on. You can't make this shit up anymore. You know what I mean? You can't make this shit up anymore. Why is he not doing God shit? I would have put him on the spot. Yeah, you know, in Virgo fashion, though, I would have did it very intelligently, coherently. You know, factually, y'all have more in common with monkeys than we do. That's a fact. Y'all the ones that are born with tails. This is a fact. This is not my opinion. You know what I mean? The thin lips, you know, all the features. That's y'all. I would have did something like that. I would have did some God shit. You know what I mean? So, what's up, Tosh? Good evening. Good evening, Isaac Thof. How are you, sir? Right? I know, rolling under eyes. Them and their Freudian slip. Right, a Freudian slip. That's exactly what it was. You know, but I have, back when I was being petty, I went and got a bunch of memes that insulted them because I was in a group called Offensive Memes. And it was just another group for people to be racist in and then call it jokes. That's all it was. You know what I mean? So back when I was being petty, I got some memes that would really hurt their feelings. But I've grown since then, which is only about 2 years, but you know. But me, like I said, it's supposed to be God's. Let's do some God shit. You know what I mean? I found some tools that I had, y'all, that I wanted to share with y'all. This shows just how much I was into getting into the dark side, magic, and everything. Check this out. I actually collected seals of Solomon and laminated them. And what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to put your name and date of birth on the back of this. Seals of Solomon. Look at that. Look how old this is. This is around 2009. I had a whole bunch of Solomon seals that I had gathered. I even bought one of the am I glitching? I froze. Can y'all hear me? Looks like I froze. Jesus, here we go. Mercury retrograde, y'all. Y'all know what's coming. I am glitching. I thought so. All right, give me a second. Let's see what we're gonna do about this one. 1 second. Since it's Friday, let me show a clip here while I try and reboot and see if I can get this back on track here. I knew it. I knew Mercury retrograde was not going to let us do like a smooth, smooth.
You understand that we are at the twilight period of the end times.
Can you hear Bobby?
Of this creation period.
All right.
So
here's what I'm gonna do.
More than likely, a lot of people we come in contact with at this particular time, some of those twin souls are going to be right in the vicinity. Now, how can you tell? The twin souls are usually inseparable, which means can happen overnight. And it can be some person that you totally didn't expect it. You see.
There was no sound. I'm so sorry about that, y'all. There was no sound. I'm sorry, y'all. It was Bobby's talking about shit. I'm sorry. This hard, yeah, it happens on any metro retrograde, yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. We good now? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? No? Yes? I even changed my microphone. All right. Am I back? Sorry about that, y'all. We good? Okay. All right. Don't forget, I put Black Herman's book in Patreon, if you remember.
If I'm not, please see that you get it. It's a great book. I want to show y'all a little clip here from that book, the Dream Book. Denise Alvarado is the one who is selling it. You know, she's selling it for pennies, y'all. You know, not actual pennies, but it is really cheap. You know what I mean? This is the title. The interpretation of dreams requires some power beyond the ordinary. It's been prepared for the benefit of the dreamer, the diviner, and the disciple of the old ways who seeks not only numbers and signs, but understanding. Herein, one shall find fragments of the subconscious, glimpses of future fortunes, and echoes of ancestral truths, faithfully preserved from the original and expanded upon with modern insight. Whether you read this book for profit, for prophecy, or for pure amusement, may these pages serve their purpose and then some. Right? There's a picture of Black Herman right there. Very rare to see any pictures of him, but there he is right there. Okay. And that's from his book, Secrets of Magic, Mystery, and Legerdemain. Still don't know if I'm saying that right, but the introduction says Black Herman's Dream Book is based on the signification of dreams found in his book. Is more than a simple catalog of dream symbols, as a cultural artifact that bridges the worlds of spiritual belief, folk divination, numerology, and early 20th century Black entrepreneurialism, compiled under the name of Black Herman, one of the most celebrated, I hate the word African-American, magicians and occultists of his time. This dream book reflects the deep tradition of using dreams as divine messages, psychological reflections, and in more practical terms, forging pathways to fortune through playing policy numbers. Before we dive into the life and work of Black Herman, it's important to keep one thing in mind. Not everything you read about him is meant to be taken as gospel truth. Black Herman was a stage magician after all, a showman and a master of self-invention. Like many performers of his era, he understood that a larger-than-life persona could be just as important as skillful hands or a sharp mind. In fact, the more exotic and outlandish the story, the more likely it was to captivate audiences and fill venues. Thus, many of the stories associated with Black Herman consist of colorful embellishments and even outright inventions, tales told to elevate the entertainment and marketability factors. Okay, it is a great book, again, put out by my good friend Denise Alvarado. Okay. Hey, what's up, Brother Moore? What's going on? She has also put out another excellent book called The Hoodoo Almanac. Her and Carolina Dean. Okay. The Hoodoo Almanac. Where else would you find such a work as this? Right? Again, if you were affected by the shutdown and all the other bullshit that's going on, and say you own a business, you can use, like I said, mantras, you know what I mean? Prayers, just light stuff, okay? Such as this right here. This helps business and attracts luck. It's called the Asma Halhalat prayer, okay? It helps one's business to prosper and attracts luck from all points of the compass. The power of the prayer causes one to acquire joy and happiness. All who lay their eyes upon the practitioner will feel an attraction. Even enemies will in the end become friendly and cooperative. Okay, so for the first benefit, you chant the prayer 10 times daily in the morning and 10 times in the evening. That's for point number one. Helping your business prosper and attracts luck from everywhere. Okay. The second and third benefits, power to acquire joy and happiness and everybody to be attracted. You would chant this 72 times after the morning prayers. Okay. Now, these are Islamic prayers. So you can get a prayer app. They have prayer apps. So after each morning prayer. I think there's 3 of them. You would chant this 7 times. I'm sorry, 72 times. It's not long. You know what I mean? Not long. Okay. Fakun ya Elahi, Kasifu, Duri, Wala Bala, Jala, Hamina, Bahal Halat. See? A couple words. I don't even think that's 10 words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's exactly 10 words. So yeah. Told y'all that those Sufi prayers, those Islamic prayers, those are very, very powerful. Anything from over in the Middle East, those are powerful prayers. Okay. Take advantage of it. All you need to do is to download one of those Islamic prayer apps. So it will alert you every time it's a prayer time. Even if you do not believe in what they believe in, you can still practice. Okay? Still practice. I wouldn't call it, well, yeah, you can call it jinn magic if you want. I prefer to call it Islamic magic. I prefer to call it jinn magic, directly calling on the jinn. Okay? Directly calling on it. Not necessarily something like that. That's more of a prayer. But jinn magic kind of involves ceremonial magic. And again, it's Mercury retrograde. We got about 3 weeks. You might not want to do it right now. Ceremonial magic. That's why I say mantras, sigils, things on the light side. Peace to Kezi. I'm sorry. I wasn't ignoring you. Let's see what else we got here. I see Unc. Unc now has a podcast. Were y'all aware of that? Do y'all, any of y'all in here follow him? You ain't feeling the retrograde already? It just started. It just started. Literally just started this week. Honey jar, yes. That too. Yes. You can use a honey. That's on the light side. What I'm saying is things that like can really move stuff like jinn magic, like calling on demons or, you know, anything ceremonial. I suggest not doing. It's going to take a minute. You know what I mean? That the retrograde really fucks with that. Islamic Sufi prayers speak to the fabric of reality, right? They believe, and there's so much I could show y'all. You know, as a matter of fact, I teach it in my Magic 401 course. There's so much that is that's just not known to the public, and they believe in repetition. They believe in mantras, and they believe in doing those mantras after certain prayers. Remember, they pray 5 times a day. Okay, they pray 5 times a day, right? I don't know if any of y'all remember this story. This guy from Turkey hired me to get this woman for him. He didn't tell me till about a month later that she prayed 5 times a day. And in that prayer, in those prayers, they asked to be protected from witchcraft. I'm like, why did you not tell me that? You know what I mean? Yeah, 607 Unc. He got a podcast now. Man, fuck this retrograde. Okay. All righty. I have the most problems doing the shadow. Yeah, me too. Me too. Especially with my, as y'all can see, you know, the shadow phase affects my electronics. I got so many tablets and laptops and my phone. Everything just goes on the brink during that time, during the shadow phase. That's how I felt last retrograde. This one I came right. The last one was awful. It was just bad. It was one of those really, really bad ones. This one's been tamed compared to that one. You know what I mean? Don't forget the mystical formula, that mantra book. There's formulas, mantras in there for retrogrades. Bobby Hemmett recommended a book, People of the Secret, that speaks of the Sufis. There's also a book called The Sufis. You know what I mean? The Sufis. Again, that's available to students of the class that I teach. You know, the Sufis. There's other books. Y'all just don't know. There is a lot of Sufi magic out there, and it's strong. It's very strong. Okay, very strong. But yeah, 607 has a podcast, and in one of his episodes, he had Omar Gooding on it. You know, the brother of Cuba Gooding Jr. I can't take this dude seriously, man. For one, he wears fingernail polish. You know what I mean? Fingernail polish. I mean, come on, man. You know, Agent, I ain't gonna give my thoughts on that. But check this out right here.
Oh, mama, this is a special edition, right? If you from the era where I'm from, you grew up off movies, right? Before like the internet, it was great hood movies that like got us through everything, right? And one of my favorites was my main man, Cuban Gooding Jr., Boys in the Hood. Boys in the Hood, Cuban Gooding Jr. Man, I love that movie. I fuck with that movie, Cuban.
Yeah. So his name is Cuba. C-U-B-A. You not with an N.
You not Cuba?
So first of all, when you put an N on it, it's already disrespectful. The fact that you know I'm not Cuban, see, now you have me calling him Cuban. Ain't that is a second layer of disrespect. But the good thing is there's air and opportunity in here.
My bad. Hold on.
Let me know how
you got me fucked up. I thought
how you want to get.
Why would you do that?
I ain't never
You
said.
told me who it was. I told you who I was booking.
I never said Cuban.
My bad, gang. I swear to God, my bad.
I never said Cuban.
That said nigga name fucked up.
My bad.
You called him Cuban with an N.
My bad. You for baby boy. You for baby. My bad. Oh my bad. My bad. My bad. You a legend, gang. My bad.
Should I step out while I'm
No, my bad.
What kind of fucking legend is he?
My bad. You a legend.
Cuban?
I forgot mama. You a legend.
Cuban good and good.
Omar Good Jr. Right? I forgot mama.
Omar Good Jr.
My bad, gang. My bad, gang. Come on, gang.
Yeah, so that happened. I can't take this guy seriously, man. You know what I mean? Fingernail polish, seriously. I'm not for that progressive shit. Shit that's my personal perspective and opinion. Shit that was traditionally for females should stay that way. Fuck it. Definitely the Sufi isn't part of your. No, it's not part of my Patreon, but I think I put the book. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to check that one. Oh yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. So what did you do with the lady that prays 5 times? And how did you do it? I didn't do anything. Once I found out that she prayed 5 times a day, I kind of cussed them out for not letting me know that I was going up against that. Prayer is a powerful thing, y'all. I did a live on this before. I said the most simple things are powerful. You know, a ritual doesn't have to be complex for it to be powerful. Okay. And Muslims, they totally believe in what they do and the power of their prayers. Okay. Matter of fact, there's a book called The Power of Prayer. Okay. There's I think he is Nigerian, somewhere in Africa, who wrote a book, a Nigerian priest, I think. He wrote a prayer book. Powerful shit. You know what I mean? So, I didn't do anything with it. I was like, why didn't you tell me this? I'm working. I'm thinking something's wrong with me. No, she prays 5 times a day. Okay? She prays 5 times a day. They believe in Allah. You know what I mean? They do. All right. Let's see. Let me close this here. What's got for y'all today? It being a Friday, day of love, you know, day of love and lust. Okay. again, do the light shit, do the incantations, the honey jars, the sigils, the mantras, you know. Fellas, you got to take care of yourselves, okay? Especially as you get older, you know, you might not produce as much testosterone, right? There's a book that I paid $200 for. It's called Ancient Mesopotamian Potency Incantations. I believe I showed y'all before, and oddly, I cannot find that book. You know what I mean? However, what I did find, I found a PDF. I couldn't believe it was on PDF after I paid $200 fucking for it. You know what I mean? Powerful book. Okay, I'm going to show you a clip. I keep saying a clip, but let me share my screen so I can show this to y'all. Friday. This being a Friday. It's called Saziga. Saziga. All right. And it has a bunch of incantations in it. Okay. And it has the Sumerian equivalent on the left side. Here's the incantations. Potency, potency. I prepared a bed for potency. What Ishtar did for Dumuzi, and what Ishtar did for Dumuzi, the legend goes, the lore goes, she gave him 50 orgasms. What Nanaya did for her lover, what Ishara did for her husband, let me do for my lover. Let the flesh of name, son of name, tingle. Let his penis be erect. Let his heart not become tired either night or day. At the command of wise Ishtar, Nanaya, Gazbaba, and Ishara. Okay? And right over here is the Sumerian equivalent. How you say that. Again, saying spells in a native language is more powerful, but what you're also supposed to do is to rub let me say this right. Magnetic iron ore. You're supposed to rub that above your navel and say that incantation. You know what I mean? Oh, absolutely. I believe so. He came from nowhere. He literally came from nowhere. Potency incantation. Speaking of that, also, I found another book I had forgotten that I had. Okay, remember I said the young witches are no longer available, but I found mine. I had gotten this from Azazel Bay. Okay, part of my sex magic class, the young witches. Can't find this on Amazon anymore. It was $40. It is now over $100. Damn shame. Damn shame. You know what I mean? Damn shame. We have another one. Some more fuckery, y'all. Some more fuckery. Check this out.
Texas hospital ignores black woman in active labor minutes before she gives birth.
When's your due date?
Right now.
Is your due date? What? How many times have you been pregnant?
3.
This is your 3rd pregnancy?
Yes.
You have 2 babies.
It's in my ass.
You have 2 babies at home?
My daughter went into active labor at home. We took her to the hospital. She called ahead of time, so we know they are expecting us.
But when they arrived, no one rushed to take her in.
Ma'am? Yes. Are you able to call the anesthesiologist? Someone is coming to take you to labor and delivery.
That's not what I asked.
When you found out you were delivering at this hospital, you should have changed doctors. Everybody say how they treat people here.
The nurse kept typing on a computer and talking on the phone while the woman was in agony. She ended up giving birth just 12 minutes after this video. And this is exactly why black women keep saying the system doesn't protect them. Texas hospital ignores black.
Historically documented metal apartheid will attest to this. That's what the book is called. That, you know, they put out that black women don't feel pain. They don't need anesthesia. That's historically. You know what I mean? Historically. So nothing I'm saying is like inaccurate. They consider us, you know, we're able to deal with pain. You know what I mean? That happened here, right here in Texas. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. She's crying in pain, and this bitch is just, how many times have you been pregnant? You know what I'm saying? I would have got up and smacked her ass or something. I have a medical part. Yeah. What's up, Dom? Yeah. Every black woman should have, every melanated person, period, should have that particular book. Look, y'all, nothing has changed. But like I said at the top of this broadcast, guys are supposed to be doing God shit. By now, November 2025, by now, y'all should know the system doesn't work for us. Y'all should know there's still active racism. Racism is a system, okay? It's in a system, all right, that's been put into place. Nothing is broken. It's working exactly as it's supposed to. I showed y'all statistics on the likelihood of any melanated person, whether male or female, likely to become a millionaire is very fucking low. I think it's about 6%. You know what I mean? I think Asians is highest, and then next is Caucasian. All right? Grow your own food. Keep medicine, natural medicine. All right? Natural medicine. Okay? Fast. Prepare. Just do stuff where you don't have to depend on this system. Now, I don't know what she would have done in this particular scenario. Maybe have a midwife or something like that when she first got pregnant. What do they call them? A doula, I think they call them. Doula? Is that what they call them? But there's ways around all of this shit. Gods are supposed to do God shit. You're not. What gods do you know in mythology actually have to depend on anybody but themselves? What god? What goddess? They was doing God shit. I don't see us doing none of that. You know what I mean? I told y'all a couple of lives ago how many people who's playing around in the esoteric arts, the occult arts, and have gone back to religion. That's not being gods. That is downgrading back to human. I don't care what nobody, I will stand on that shit. You know what I mean? Gods are supposed to do God shit. Hella traumatic, indeed. If everything illusion, how is racism true? What did I say was an illusion? Prince Mugo. This is first time I've seen that name, but what did I say was an illusion? Tell me what I said that was an illusion. What's up, brother Ultra Instinct? How are you? Indeed. You know what else was a test run? You know what else was a test run? When we had that winter storm here in Texas. Remember, we don't get winter like that, and we got it happened in 2021, and we were stuck here. And it was ice everywhere, and that ice wasn't natural ice. That was also a test run. You know what I mean? Learn to grow your own food. Stock up on MREs if you have to. Stock up on canned goods. I gave out the formulas for all of this shit. Okay. So it is doulas. Okay, that's what I thought. What's up? Farewell to the flesh. Should I make a wish on a winter solstice on December the 23rd? Make a wish? What do you mean? Do you mean like, what do you mean? Make a wish on a winter solstice? That's one of those power days. That's one of those occult days. That's one of those days that you take advantage of. It's a power day for an occultist. Okay? Winter solstice, the fall equinox, the summer solstice, and the spring equinox. You know, Beltane, Halloween. All those are power days. I see Salt and Pepper got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Congratulations to them. Tosh sent me something. Let's see. Let's see what we have here. I haven't watched this yet. We're gonna watch it together. What is this, Tosh, that you sent me?
If you don't watch any other video today, please stop and watch this one. Let's make this go viral. My son is a third-year aerospace engineering student at Tuskegee University. He is also the vice president and lead engineer of the Rocketry Club. They are the only rocketry club in the nation from an HBCU. They are a nonprofit organization, student-led and student-funded. A team of all Black student engineers. How amazing is that? But they need your help. And I definitely understand everyone can't help financially, but just by sharing this video, this will help them out tremendously. They are attempting to design and build a rocket for the Tripoli Balls launch that happens every year in Nevada. It is one of the most extreme amateur rocketry events in the world. A team of amazingly talented all Black students will be building a rocket, designing and building a rocket to go into literal space. Tuskegee University has a proud legacy of breaking barriers. And these underrepresented students are continuing that legacy by showing that they can compete in the largest amateur rocketry contest in the nation. The rocketry team has set up a GoFundMe account to help support them in getting to the Balls launch in Nevada. I'll link the GoFundMe in my bio. But again, even if you can't donate, please like, share, comment, boost this video. Make it go viral. Let's get these kids to Nevada so they can make history and change the game.
That's what I'm talking about. Thanks for sharing that with me, Tosh. I'll share the Instagram here. You know what I mean? That's what Jack Parsons was doing. You remember Jack Parsons, one of the students of Aleister Crowley? That's what he was doing. He was a rocket engineer. Yes, do a ritual instead. Yep, I agree. Do a ritual. I have a high tolerance to pain, but I still feel pain, too much pain, and my body goes to sleep. But I can have to imagine that having a child would be extremely painful because I believe the cervix has to separate. I can only imagine what that must feel like for a woman, for her cervix to have to separate, for the baby to pass through. Shit. I said it, not you. Comment real. Okay, cool. What do you think about The Law of Attraction, the best books? I haven't seen this name in a while. If you had sex with a transgender. Okay. Off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you. There's so many Law of Attractions, but The Secret Source. The Hermetic Laws of Power. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, anything by Frederick. I can never pronounce his name. Anything by him and Hermetic texts. That's all I can tell you. Okay. I remember the last time you was on this channel, sir. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, more books. Been getting a lot of questions about like the Goetia. Seeing a lot of people getting trying to get into the Goetia, it's a good system to learn if you stick with it. Like, there's several books on the Goetia, several books. You'll have to determine which book is for you. I love the Goetia. I've always liked working with the 72 spirits. These are the 72 spirits that Solomon commanded to build his temple, right? Aleister Crowley's Illustrated Sexual Goetia. That's the one that I use, all right? And if you look at the book, the instructions are right in the beginning of the text. It's right in the beginning of the book, okay? I'm going to show you. Okay, this is the Goetia. This is Illustrated Goetia. Okay, these are the editors, I'm assuming. Lon Milo Duquette and Christopher S. Hyatt. Christopher S. Hyatt is one of the co-authors of Pacts with the Devil. All right. So that's not it. That's not it. There we go. This is the primary invocation of the Goetia. The first requisite for a successful Goetic evocation is to firmly establish your power and declare your authority to command the spirits. Below is an annotated version of preliminary invocation of the Goetia, a version of the Bornless ritual of the Golden Dawn, modified by Crowley for use as a preliminary ritual for not only Goetic workings, but for more exalted operations, including the invocations of one's holy guardian angel, which is supposed to be the ultimate goal. That's what you're supposed to be uniting with. It is easy to see that this ceremony serves as both temple opening and declaration of authority. Also, the barbarous names of the evocation serve to intoxicate the mind of the magician and evoke the necessary state of consciousness. Done correctly, after the banishing ritual of the pentagram, we believe it is the only ceremony necessary prior to calling the particular spirit. In fact, it has been our experience that once the preliminary invocation of the Goetia has been recited, one need only call the spirit by name to succeed in invoking it into the triangle. Okay? The invocation was modified by Crowley to conform with the deities and formulas of Thelema and the New Aeon. All right? If you are not a Thelemite and have another religion or spiritual discipline by which you are empowered, this ceremony is easily modified to accommodate your deities and formula. And then it goes into the Bornless one invocation. Look at that. Okay? I invoke the Bornless one. And then I'm not going to read all of that, but as you can see, there's some invocations that you have to do. Okay? All of that. Now, this is not the only one, okay? It is not the only one. You can use that as a template, all right? But you do not have to use it, okay? The inventor of Scientology was L. Ron Hubbard. Jack Parsons was the one who attempted to evoke Babylon to physical manifestation, to physical appearance. Remember this TV show, CBS, Strange Angel. Doc kind of documents his journey into Thelema. Okay. He died in a rocket too. Lord, who are these two people? I like to talk dirty behind. Do you think robots and air? I will replace humans in 15 years. The Christians and the Muslims say it's the end time, Antichrist, and I and a robot. I honestly don't know what to say to that. Honestly, I don't actually know what you're asking. Frederick Dodson. Okay. People I noticed practice magic in Buddhism and Hinduism are frightened of AI and robots. AI is useful if you use it correctly. But of course, some people are going to abuse it. Of course, people are going to abuse it. That's all I got to say about it. Yeah, Brother Moore loves it. AI. He works with it. You are near death during delivery. I didn't want an epidural, but the doctor made me because my body was shutting down to protect us. See, that's why I say women are close to the most perfect species on the planet simply because you give birth. And that's y'all to be commended for that alone. Okay. Like I said, I've seen deliveries. I was there with my wife, but I've seen like the inside of a woman giving birth and her servant has to separate to allow the baby to pass. That has to be some painful shit. You know what I mean? That has to be something. Y'all to be commended for that. I swear, I'm not being funny either. He died trying, though. That's what led to the rocket explosion, right? I'm not sure. I would have to get back to you on that one. I don't think that's how that happened. You could be right. I'm not completely sure about that one. Okay, get Jack Parsons, Gene Roddenberry, and Ron Hubbard. Well-deserved door. Ethical AI. By then, you're numb. I can imagine my wife, our sons, they doped her up so much they had to wake her up to push. That's how she was numb, all right. She was out of it. They had to wake her up to push. That's how doped up she was. They gave her some strong shit. But I know that they don't give every woman drugs like that. You know what I'm saying? So to have to, man, I got my full respect for that. I've always said that too. AI are giving people psychosis. Indeed. Didn't Ani Osaru do something recently on AI? Didn't he do a show? I went to his last one, but I had to step away, you know, but I know he was going in on 8. I think it was his last one. I'm not for sure. Okay. Oh, but back to what I was saying. Excuse me. You also have a Kimbanda Goetia, right? Kimbanda is one of the ATRs. Okay. That's why I said it's a couple different versions of the Goetia out there. You'll have to pick and choose and what works for you if this is what you're going to work with. Okay. Here is the Kimbanda Goetia, Afro-Brazilian Magic Spells and Rituals by Carlos Montenegro. Me and him have since lost touch. It's been a minute since I spoke to him. But here's what he has to say about it. The word Kimbanda actually comes from the African Bantu word meaning healer or shaman. It also refers to the one who communicates with the beyond. The Kimbanda magical religious tradition is the most powerful Congo magical practice found in the New World and is also known and revered as perhaps being the most dynamic, complicated, and most powerful forms of Afro magical religious practices found in Latin America. Kimbanda was originally contained under the Afro-Brazilian religious tradition of Macumba. In the mid-20th century, Macumba split into 2 religions, Kimbanda and Umbanda. Umbanda represented the more popular with many Christian elements of Macumba, while Kimbanda retained the distinctly African traits. Kimbanda has continued to distinguish itself as a religion, while resisting many but not all of the Catholic and French Spiritism influences that have penetrated Umbanda and other Afro-Brazilian religions. Okay, and he goes into some spells and rituals in that book. That's another form of the Goetia. But there's even more than that, okay, of the Goetia. All right. You have L.W. De Lawrence, The Book of Evil Spirits. That's another one. Teaches the Goetia. All right. You also have Michael Ford's version, which is called Luciferian Goetia. I did that for a while, simply because I was in his order at that time. Okay. I was in his order. The Luciferian. Yes, I was a Luciferian at one time. I considered Luciferianism. Okay. This is his Luciferian Goetia. All right. The Lesser Key of Solomon the King, Lemegeddon. All right. I couldn't highlight anything on this book, okay, simply because it's a protected document. The best I can do is show you. But I love what he says here. Magic is the highest art of conscious elevation. It is the specific ascension of the self and an opening forth of higher articulation of self. It is the art of the sun, which is fertile and beautiful, the very foundation built in gold brilliance. Magic is the evolution of the spirit and the self, the very path of mediation between us and our gods. It is ultimately, however, the separation from us, from all gods, and the emerald crown of which we adopt. We become as gods and goddesses, individual and beautiful in many ways. This is what I'm talking about, doing God shit, okay? Whether you believe these forces are outside of yourself or within you and parts of your brain, either way works. It's all a matter of perception, okay? I used this particular Goetia for the longest time. All right, I was really into Luciferianism at that time. And what you do as far as the circle is you go backwards. Luciferian style, you go backwards. Okay. That last one was, I thought he went like 7 hours, if I'm not mistaken. No, maybe 4 hours. At any rate, I have problems talking to y'all for 1 hour. I'm sorry, I can do maybe an hour and a half, but 4, 5, 6, 7, I can't do that. I mean, I can, but I'm not going to do that. Sorry. Y'all going to get it in 1 hour increments. Got both, but I may go back to that illustrated Goetia. Okay, that's what's up. That is what's up. Yeah, he does. He has some great books. Some really, really great books. One of his books I bought cost $80. It was The Grimoire of the Red Serpent. Okay. He does another hybrid mix of Kimbanda and Goetia. Remember, Kimbanda is Exu and Pombagira, and they are both legion. There's many Exus and many Pombagiras. They are legion. It's not one spirit. It's a legion of them. Okay, so just like I was telling y'all about Brujo Negro, all right, with the Voodoo Sorcery Grimoire, a hybridization of voodoo and Mexican witchcraft. Okay, this is the godlike shit y'all want to get to. This is the point you want to get to where you can combine what you've learned and hybridize your own system and write your own grimoires. This is the point that should be your goal. Okay. The Native American and African shamans say AI robots are evil. Dr. Malachi York said in his book, "The computer don't trust these machines. The movie Terminator taught me not to trust AI." Okay. All right. Last one was almost okay. That's what I thought. I was like, damn, this shit is long. I kept being called away, but I would go back to it, and he was still going. I'm like, God damn, I can't do it, y'all. My mouth starts to get dry. My legs start to hurt. My back I can't do it. Not just because of the physical things that's going on, because I could bypass that. I just am not comfortable just doing those long lives like that. That's just me. He went Phil Valentine long. Yeah, he does some long ones too. Bobby too. Bobby, one of the best Bobby lectures, in my opinion, went 7 hours. The Black Mystical Agenda. All right. What else we got saved here? Oh yeah, I forgot about this. I'm not sure this is true right here. Matter of fact, I'm not showing it because I need to do more research on this one. I'm not sure about this one. I'm not going to show it. 30,000 guillotines. I'm not sure about that post at all. And I'm not even going to go there with that. So, yeah. All right. This one here. People scared of their own power. Right. But those of you who are aware, those of you who are self-aware, know that you got power. Y'all supposed to be doing the God shit. All right. Y'all not supposed to be scared of your own power. Okay. Y'all the ones supposed to be doing the God and goddess shit. What's up, Ezek? You know what I mean? Here's another fuckery. More fuckery.
Have you ever been lost?
Have you ever used orphans to study an experimental vaccine?
Yes.
Have you ever used mentally handicapped to study an experimental vaccine?
What I'm saying is I don't recall specifically having done that, but that in the 1960s, it was not unusual to do that, and I wouldn't deny that I may have done so.
There's an article entitled Attenuation of R827.3 rubella virus in WI38 human diploid cells. Are you familiar with that article?
Yes.
In that article, is one of the things it says is 13 seronegative, mentally retarded children were given R827.3 vaccine.
Okay, well, that's in that case, that's what I did.
Have you ever used babies of mothers in prison to study an experimental vaccine?
Yes.
Have you ever used individuals under colonial rule to study an experimental vaccine?
Yes.
Did you do so in the Belgian Congo?
Yes.
Did that experiment involve almost 1 million people?
Well, all right. Yes. Okay.
Wow. He said that publicly. Imagine what's done in the dark. Just imagine. Again, one of the spirits of the book by Robert Pelton is called Voodoo Talismans or something like that. But yeah, I was doing shit like this. I was buying talismans, consecrating them, and using them. This is one for money. I can't remember his name. I believe it begins with an O. Voodoo charms and talismans. God, I was doing that. This shit is dirty. It's silver, but it's dirty. You know what I mean? I found this little pamphlet, Magical Amulets and Talismans, and look at the charms. Star charms are in here. See that? Star charms. Actual star charms, right? Look at that. Okay. More star charms. I believe in charms and talismans and amulets. That's why you see me wearing the rings that I do and the talismans that I wear around my neck. Okay. Key of Solomon. This is the book. You know. Key of Solomon. Talismans. They are on Amazon. Look at this. Sun talisman. Right there. Sun talisman. The Key of Solomon talismans are on Amazon. If any of you are interested in getting them, you know what I mean? Let's see. We were talking about astral stuff. I want to show you this book that's called, it's called, what is this called? Seriously? Good grief. But anyway, retrograde, y'all. Retrograde. Retro fucking grade. Check this out. The concept of sex and the masculine and feminine principle originates on the causal plane. Souls have no sex. If you identify yourself with either principle, you cannot spiritually progress beyond this point. To go higher, you must give up such beliefs and realize that you are a soul only, and all else is temporary and impermanent. Wow, right? Since this plane also exists in duality, if you want to explore all of its wonders, your spiritual progress stops here. So masters teach their students that it is of utmost importance to still and control the mind so that the final gate into the pure spiritual region can be accessed. Okay. More information about that. Unlike the created worlds, which have distinct individual qualities, the spiritual planes are all essentially the same and blend with each other. The only difference is the vibratory level. I've been saying this for years. Because of this, mystic schools do not always agree on the number of spiritual planes. People think it's only 7. It's more than that. The most common number listed is 7. The spiritual planes exist outside of space and time and are not subject to creation and dissolution. Souls who reach the first or lowest spiritual plane never need return to the created worlds unless they choose to do so. Look at that clip called, I think they're called the Voyagers or the Visitors or something. In such a case, they will return as spiritual personnel, such as spiritual masters. Souls remain in this region for as long as it is necessary for the soul to gain the skills and maturity, which will allow it to live on its own outside of modified space. This has been hinted at for years and years and years. Okay. Jacob Ladder comes to mind, you know. So many movies point to this about how you have to evolve as a soul before you can move on. All right. The dead don't know they're dead. Okay. The dead don't know that they're dead. All right. This is why when somebody, like I was saying in the last slide, this is why when somebody says so-and-so came through on the astral, I told you, as much as I respect Bobby, I think Bobby made that shit up, to be quite honest. No spiritual teacher is above reproach. And I said what I said. And the reason I said that is because the general consensus, if you do your research, is that the dead do not know they're dead. All right. And so when somebody says, oh, this person came through and was telling me how it's total bullshit. In my opinion, I could be wrong, but there are signposts that psychologists use, signposts that I use to know if someone is actually at the magical or occultic level that they claim that they are in. Okay. Again, tricks that you can use to tell when somebody's lying about something. All right. They experiment on the whole globe. Yeah. And unfortunately, so many people fell for it. So many people. Just like the Frankenstein movie, it was a good one. Guillermo del Toro tapped into the unseen. Which Frankenstein movie are we talking about? Because that one, he's one of my favorite directors. Please list what movie. I need to see whatever you're talking about. I like his movies. That Frankenstein's on Netflix, yeah, it was good. Reminded me of Dean Koontz. Damn, Ultra Instinct continues to impress me, bruh. Dean Koontz is one of my favorite authors. Dean Koontz and Stephen King and Clive Barker, my top 3 writers of all time. Yes, you can't control the supernatural. Exactly. Manipulation, yes. Same with death. Necromancy. Indeed. It's on Netflix? Okay. Frankenstein on Netflix. Thank you. I appreciate that. I totally appreciate that. You know what I mean? But the whole goal that I had today was to teach y'all, not teach y'all, but just say, you know, do some God shit, man. And, you know, get out of this rut that I see a lot of people are in, depending on everybody else to solve their problems. God's solved their problems. You know, God's actually interact with the spiritual world. All right, call in certain energies or spirits or however you choose to see it. See what I mean? So, y'all have a great rest of your day. Thanks for joining me. I always appreciate interacting with you. Fortunately, the retrograde didn't fuck with it too much, but if you need if I can find it, Mystical Formula book, and if you're willing to do all those damn mantras for the retrograde and have at it, I'll be back Tuesday next time to give y'all that formula again. I believe I gave it out. Don't be raising the dead? Yeah, all right. Okay. I am the one and only, the mystical and magical, the diabolical one, the Magick Lacroix. There is only one. Thanks again, y'all. Y'all be safe this weekend. Have a great one. I'll see y'all here on Tuesday. So greet y'all in peace. Namaste. Peace, y'all. Thanks. Appreciate y'all. Hey, Diana Nichols. What's up? I didn't know you was here. Anyway, I got to go. Peace, y'all.